Hey, what's up, everybody? Look, we're gonna do some a little bit of analysis of the race footage from up there at the King of the Mountain uh, series. I am so excited. This this time, at this time of filming this, we are in the middle of the quarantine for COVID-19. So you know, we're all going a little stir crazy, but I am happy that folks were getting out and getting racing. So with with that said, I'm gonna actually bring in a special guest, somebody who's gonna help fill us in, who was on, boots on the ground. He was at the race, uh, um, and I just want to get his insight on the hills, real quick, and just kind of give us a solid basis before we go into the footage and start watching. So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce the Bobby Tarrant of RC Rock Bouncing, Mr. Rob Wyman. What up, dude?
How's it going, you?
Good, man. I love that shirt. I'm liking it.
Thank you, thank you. I know the guy.
Yeah.
Try to get you one.
Yeah. Nice. Hey, man,
Uh,
chilling out in the shop like always. Happy to see
yeah,
that. How are you? How's the new baby? How are y'all dealing with this quarantine stuff? Are you still working?
I am. I actually work at a hobby shop now. Go figure. Um,
Interesting.
the wife and baby are great. Um, they're upstairs hanging out. Quarantine sucks. The wife's going crazy.
Yep,
Um,
yep.
but
Can't bring
aside
the
from that,
baby
it's
anywhere. Can't bring that
no,
baby anywhere. Oh, that's gotta be
no.
tough.
It's just you just want to get the hell out of the house and can't.
Yep, yep,
But
yep.
just
Well,
needs more time for ICs.
yeah, yeah, right. Get them out to. How's the weather right now? Y'all are in Manchester, New Hampshire.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Right now, well, it looks like it's stopped, but it was pouring out today.
Okay.
The last couple of days have been, 50s, high 40s.
Okay.
No snow, but
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
good,
It's
I guess. But
typical April, New England April. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. This
Yeah.
is New England's finest.
Yeah. I mean, I was 3 or 4 hours north of you where I grew up, and we had snow in April before. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, it snowed the other. It snowed Saturday, the day I left for the races.
Yeah.
We had
Wow.
probably 2 inches of snow on the ground when we left here, and there was nothing at the track. So.
Wow. Well, so with that said, let's get into it. How are the hills? What's everything look like at Hazardous RC Off Road Park right now?
Man, Curtis kills it with hills. You can't take anything away from him from hill building. You'd think it's just digging a line in the dirt, and it's not. It's fucking unreal. And it, the hills were great. We ran 4 hills in the Bounty, and last year was midsummer when we ran out there, and the hills were real soft dirt. And I think this year, because we started so early, being the new fresh season, um, the ground being colder, the dirt was a lot harder, and you had a lot more traction than we did last at the end of the years. Um, but you could tell as we were, you get towards the end of the drivers, the track was getting real loose, but it it was awesome. It's always an awesome time.
There's some footage we're gonna see of a real loose dirt hill, and I could see when a couple of drivers kind of got right up to the top, and then they weren't letting off, man, and that's actually in rock bouncing. It's called plowboying it because I don't know if you know plowboy, the plowboy
Oh
buggy.
yeah,
So okay,
yep,
dude runs like 44-inch boggers, man, and he'll get up to the top and he'll just dig to China, and I saw that, and the hill was actually fairly flat when in the beginning, and then
yep,
towards the end there you started to see divots and stuff, and it was causing the suspension to work. You got to have your suspension dialed in. So
yeah.
but
It, yeah.
with that said, though, and I don't want to get too far ahead, but the hills are nasty. You're
Mm.
absolutely right. I have had the privilege, absolute privilege, to work with Curtis a couple of times building hills. One at the inaugural King of the Mountain race at Mountain Mud Run
Yep,
2019. That was awesome.
that was amazing.
That was right up there. I'm going to put that right up there with the season opener for Texas this year, where we had 40 drivers. It was right up there with
Damn.
that, man. Yeah, it was.
Wow.
It was a big moment for RC rock bouncing, just like in Texas, it was a big
Yeah.
moment for RC rock bouncing.
Yeah,
Give
absolutely.
give credit to where credit's due. But
Hell yeah.
yeah, Curtis is an absolute you know scientist when it comes to building hills. He's just got a
Yep.
vision. He's got a vision for stuff that I don't have, that you don't have. He's just amazing.
No.
But I will say though, and I don't want to spoiler alert, but y'all are building buggies that are killing those hills now. I mean, how many
Yeah.
buggies? There was three or four buggies. I don't want. I'm not going to give it away, but there was more buggies this year that were super capable than there was last year for sure. You
Oh
know,
God, yeah. Way more. Well,
and
a lot better drivers. Too. Well, not better drivers. A more. Uh, you could just tell the experience was.
sure, sure,
Yeah.
yeah. But what speaking of buggies, you have made some huge changes since last year. Huge changes.
Yeah.
A new
Yeah. I have.
chassis, a new chassis, right?
Yep.
Give us a
Yep.
rundown of
Uh,
your current build.
well, last year I ran Bad Habits, was a custom made chassis I'd done, and this year I'm running Travis Vance chassis. Oh, you see that? Oh, my Bud Light.
Yeah.
Uh, Travis Vance chassis.
Yep.
Um, I'm running race skids. I'm running leading arm and trailing arm this year. Last
Yep.
year I was four linked, and then I went to trailing arms.
Yep.
This year I said, "What the hell? I'm going to try it," and it's what an unreal truck this is this year.
Yep.
Like unreal. And it's still the same power plant, same heart, same axles, but I took my time. I mean, literally took my time
Yep.
all winter long building.
Yep.
And I just acquired another. I'm gonna turn the phone around here. Another chassis. I'm gonna build or a
Yep.
second buggy. That's Bad Habits from last year. I did some
Yep.
modifications to it.
Yep.
But aside that, I got a new transmission for this and motor. But it's yeah, what a difference from last year's my driving and the way rigs handled, and to this year. It's that race was the first time my buggy's ever even seen the ground. I had, the first hill was the first time I essentially pulled the trigger, and took it for a ride, and I was blown away. I was actually pretty proud of myself for. It's nice when the hard work pays off, I guess.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, that's really, really good to hear, man. Because I mean, you made huge changes last year. You know, with like you said, you were four linked, and then you went to trailing arm. You were paying attention and learning. I kind of gave you the nickname, the Bobby Tanner of RC Rock Bounce, and because you used to just send it, man. You just send it, and
Yeah.
that is Bobby Tanner to a T. It don't matter if you yard sale it. It don't matter if you're lawn darting. It don't matter, man. Rob always sends it, and but I think this year we're gonna see a different Rob Wyman. Still going to be the Bobby Tanner of RC Rock Bouncing, but
Yeah, yeah.
even Bobby Tanner though, even Bobby Tanner, within a few years of actually racing in a race series, started to take it serious and started to race harder and pay more attention to you know so
it, it it gets expensive.
it does. No, you're right. You're right.
you
You're
know.
absolutely right. But
So
but I think you're getting to a point now where if you get that buggy dialed in, and you can just maintain. You don't have to spend any more
Yeah,
money. Just maintain. Um,
yeah,
you know, just focus on controller time. But guys like
yeah.
us,
That's a big
man,
thing.
guys like us, we're tinkerers, and I know you're going to be building more buggies or
Oh
changing
God, yeah.
stuff up. Yeah, yeah. So,
I
yeah.
mean, this was a part less than 10 hours after the race, so.
Yeah, yeah. So talk to me about the race, man. Four hills, a bounty hill, and
Yeah.
even some knockout racing.
Oh man, I love knockout racing.
Yep.
The, yeah, I mean, like I said, the hills, the four hills were great. Um, he had a new hill there he added, and the bounty hill was the staircase, the unclimbed hill that's now been climbed
Yep.
and renamed. Um, but they
Staircase
were
is a new
fast.
name.
No, no, no. It's oh god, Devil's Backbone, I believe.
Okay. Okay.
Um, but yeah, they were very fast Saturday, very fast.
Yep. Yeah, some fast
And
runs, man. Fast runs.
yeah, yeah, I, yeah, I had a few good runs, and then I DNF'd on my last two hills, I believe.
Yeah. Didn't you have a wheel that come off or something?
Oh,
What'd you break?
yeah. So I had tried these new wheel hexes, and it bit me in the ass. I
Okay.
shouldn't have done that. And they were aluminum, and they would shear the pins, and then it sheared the pins on all four, but they were, still stuck together enough that it was, it stayed together until that my front right fell off, and then I'd fix it, and that, you couldn't go 5 feet before the wheels were falling back off, and
Ugh, brutal.
it was the end of the race, so it's, there's no point. You can't fix it. There's
Yep.
nothing. There's no more races. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
Well, yeah, and I will say the importance of that is y'all are going to be going to a point series. Okay,
yeah,
this is going to become a point series. So getting to the line and getting an attempt in is still going to get you points.
okay. Well, that's good to
So
know.
so that if you only make it 5 feet, at least you made an attempt, and you will still get
Right.
10 points. Yeah.
It's
So
better than a DNF.
yes, exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's good. That's good. So
Yeah.
talk to me about the differing terrain that you had to deal with from like hill one to hill four, because that's going to be your series hills. You know.
Yep. Um, I'm trying to think. I don't have videos in front of me. But like, hill one was, I believe that it was a rocky one there. I mean, so you got rocks, the loose third hill, and then he's got some rock walls on
Yep.
one of the hills.
Yep.
Um, and then and he extended that rock wall by a couple feet, I think, which made it even harder to get up the damn thing. And then of course that was now Devil's Backbone, I believe, and you come off that, and you got to hammer up loose dirt the rest of the way, and then one of the other hills has got roots and trees at the top of it, and oh man, roots really can screw shit up
Yeah.
quick.
I saw a lot of guys running cut boggers. Is that
Yep.
kind of the tire of choice? Or are guys just putting that on for the dirt hills? Because I wouldn't be running cut boggers, at least not in front and rear. I might run them in the rear, but not on the rocks. I don't like boggers on the rocks.
No, no, bogger's stuck on the rocks. We don't have a whole. I mean, we have rocks, but it's short-lived, if you will,
Okay.
until you hit dirt again.
Okay.
Um, so I mean, the dig tires make a huge difference. There were a lot of the boggers, like you said. I brought a set. I didn't run them.
Yeah.
Um, I ran rock beasts that I cut.
Yeah.
Those
Very
are,
unique cut too. A very unique cut
yeah,
too. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
man, those things hooked good too. Real good. Yeah, but boggers and mudslingers people like, and
Yep.
the TSLs. Curtis runs those on his, and
Yep.
I've actually got uh, four sets of those coming this week. So I got some cutting to do.
Yeah. Not you gonna keep with the SX stickies and not the USD stickies? Have you seen any of those
Yeah,
on? Have you seen them yet?
uh, only online. I haven't seen anything in person.
Right. Yeah.
I am curious to see what they do.
Yeah.
But me, no, I'm gonna stick with what I know and what I like.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
you know,
Yep.
our terrain is way different than your terrain,
Yep.
so
Absolutely.
it's
Absolutely.
you know, I'm just old school. I know what I like, and that's what I stick with.
I will say, those big old tires would probably do quite well in the rocks and then to like right into the dirt, especially cut to
So
give you
stickies,
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
new
yeah,
ones.
yeah.
Oh,
And the way that they are designed, you also have a little side hill, a little lateral traction, if you will.
sure, yeah,
Because the tread is more like a SX sticky rather than a bogger. Where the
right,
bogger's just got, the tread is like this, as opposed
yeah,
to having anything in the middle. You know,
yeah.
so cool, man.
I mean, I'm curious. I'd love to try them.
Yeah,
We'll see.
yeah, good deal. Yeah. Well, I'm sure. Come June, if you haven't seen any, you'll see quite a few sets because the Hobacks are coming up. I mean, um, you know,
I can't wait to race. To be honest.
it's gonna be awesome. Uh, I mean, y'all had talk to me. Speaking of that, talk to me about numbers. Talk to me how many people did you have?
This race, driver wise, I think we had 11 drivers.
Okay.
We had probably say 30 people total. Spectators, we had uh, some people show up from local hobby shop to Curtis. Um, Actually, a gentleman down from my area that comes to my hobby shop saw us online and came out. Um, Quite a few new drivers. Uh, Good friend of mine, Chuck
Yeah.
Ferreira.
Yep.
He's running actually my very first race I ever bought. My very first RC I gave to him, and he actually was gifted the chassis I built last year for Ryan Ramsey.
Really?
The green one. Ryan gifted that chassis to Chuck on Saturday. So now, you know,
Is it because
Chuck's got a
Chuck's? Is
legit.
it what? Why is what Chuck? Because Chuck had a rock bouncer, man. He had a legit
No,
bouncer.
no, no. This is a different Chuck.
Oh, oh,
No, no. That Chuck was also there.
yeah, yeah.
My buddy Chuck Ferrer is brand new to RCs.
Oh, awesome, man. Well,
He
that's cool.
he got hooked from coming to my house and shit, and
Yeah, well,
the
that's really cool,
bouncer
man.
thing, and so I been setting him up and helping him out, and
Good deal.
his first time was Saturday, and so
That's awesome, man.
nope,
That's
yep,
awesome. And that is, that chassis that was gifted to him, you built, uh,
yep.
just
I,
because Ryan Ramsey was a big part of your race series, but he didn't have a bouncer.
no, and that bothers me, I guess, and it's not their fault, whatever. And then I saw an opportunity to help somebody, and I did, and it's paying off. It's
But
awesome
isn't
to see
that
him.
isn't that the bouncer life way though? Isn't that
Well,
what? Yeah,
I I've seen it more in the bouncer life than I have in, I guess, real life,
yeah,
honestly.
yeah. So that is nothing new up there in New Hampshire, man. Y'all are killing it. The series is growing. The group on Facebook, if you're watching this and you're not following King of the Mountain RC Bouncer Race Series, that group, get in there. Talk, get a
Yeah,
hold of Curtis. Curtis is such a down to earth dude, man. He'll sit there and talk to you about rock bouncing for hours.
yeah, yeah.
So definitely hit these guys up for sure. Get in touch with me, and I'll get you in touch with them. But yeah, it's definitely these guys are definitely killing it. So we talked about the race series. We talked about first race day. Going forward, you got your buggy part after you said within 10 hours. What is going forward? What changes are you going to make? What obviously besides the hex pins and the hexes and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Um, I mean, changes. I got a new high ratio SSD transmission that I'm
Sweet,
gonna put in it.
sweet.
Um,
Why going high
so
ratio? Just because of the wheel speed?
Yeah, I mean, you know me. I like power,
Yep.
and this weekend I happened to pick up the second chat the skid and links and that setup there, and it had that transmission in it, and I was like, well, that's going to go on my rig, and I might take the power plant out of this truck and put it in the other one. And but aside from that changes, I'm honestly like extremely happy,
Yep. Good. Awesome.
extremely happy.
Awesome. You gonna do any shock tuning or?
Um, I'm honestly still new to shock tuning. I literally just tried different shock weights for my first time this weekend,
Nice.
and
Nice.
what a difference! You
Okay.
know, last year I didn't have uh, I didn't know what I know now, I guess,
Yep. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and that's the well, I mean that's the part of it, and
Yep. Absolutely.
I've learned a lot, you know, between talking to you and Sam and the even Bust the Knuckle films and all from the 1-1 guys, and
Yep.
shock tuning is literally where it's at.
Yep.
I mean, you could have the fastest rig in the pack. It doesn't mean shit if your buggy's not planted.
That's right.
And I don't know. I just tried, like I said, tried big bore shocks this year, and I'm super pleased with them.
Yep. Good deal. Well, that's the general consensus, man. That's usually what people are saying when they go to those shocks for sure. The scalar shocks look cool because they're legit king shocks. They look like it, but they don't function the same. This is not the
No,
same.
they don't function. No,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's what a difference.
Yeah.
When you just see in the videos itself, it's awesome.
Yeah. So, what do you guys have planned for the rest of the year? How many more events are you going to be at?
Um, I think we have, well, there's another one in May, I
Yep.
think at Curtis's again,
Yep.
then June. I think we have like 6 total this year
Okay.
races.
Good deal.
Um, I'll be at every one.
Good.
I mean, as long as, some crazy doesn't happen.
Sure.
But
Yep.
I'll be at every one. And, eventually the little man will be with me too. So
Yep. Awesome. Good deal.
I'll have a racing partner.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That gives me chills, knowing that, because we see it at the 1-to-1 races, man. We all join in welcoming new babies all the time, and they're always at the races and getting passed around. Just like Native Americans, the tribe kind of raises the baby type of thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So it's a little different, but still that tribe mentality, man. It's pretty cool.
yeah.
It's a pretty cool
Well,
feeling.
my very first race last year at Mountain Mud Run, Mark Nero was the very first 1-1 bouncer I ever saw in person
Yep.
and talked to him. And his wife and newborn were standing right there,
Yep.
and I
Yep.
was like, yep,
Yep.
this is what I want.
Yep. Exactly.
And
So.
so it
Yep.
was rad to see.
Yep. Yeah. He's Mark's a good dude, man, and that buggy is nasty.
Yeah, I hope he comes
May,
back this year.
if you don't know which one we're talking about, it's Mayhem. It's bright blue. It's got probably the
Orange axles.
yeah, right. Just bright colors that pop, man. If you haven't checked out D-Pat's photography or Black Dog photography, that buggy takes really good pictures, really good
Yes, it
pictures.
does.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So,
Well,
well, Rob, man, we're going to get into watching this footage, brother. I'm going to let you get back to work. But
I
I
appreciate
definitely
that.
appreciate you helping us get started and giving us kind of
Yeah, man.
insight. It's good to have boots on the ground, as they say in the military. To have that. I don't know that that what's the word I'm looking for, man?
The
That
outside
in
view, I guess.
Yeah, that that
Inside view.
yeah, that insight from the hills. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's really
From the
awesome.
driver aspect.
Exactly, from the
I'm here.
driver aspect or anybody.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
I'm here anytime. Any questions? Feel free to message me.
yeah,
Anybody.
and another thing too. Rewind just a second about going to the race in June.
Yep.
Oh my goodness! I hope that this mayhem is over. This I call it mayhem again, but I hope this quarantine stuff is over, and we can all get back to racing. However, if that's not the case, Curtis is still talking about having his race in June. So
Oh yeah.
that is going to be huge. You're going to see pretty much coast to coast drivers coming up to New Hampshire to race the New England boys. You know what I mean? It's just
Oh
going to be
man, I got
nuts.
goosebumps thinking
You
about
you got guys from
it.
Texas, guys from Tennessee coming up, guys from Alabama. Jonathan Beck, the race director for Nitty Gritty, is coming up. So,
Oh yeah. I
dude,
heard Jason Eldridge might be.
Jason Eldridge from Kansas City. I mean, so we're,
It's gonna be wild, man.
yeah,
It's that's
media's gonna
impressive.
yeah, media's coverage is gonna be there. High octane films, D-Pat's
Ah,
photography is talking about coming up there. So,
I'm trying to get him to come.
you're talking about a pro level event because the same people that are at the national events are going to be there. So you're
Yep.
talking about
It's
it's going to be a big deal. So
dude. I can't wait.
you know that it's June 22nd. You remember?
20th,
20th.
June
Okay, June
20th.
20th. So
It's
if you
day after my birthday.
nice, awesome. Well, be celebrating, man. If you
Oh,
don't
we will be.
if if you don't know what we're talking about, again, get over to the King of the Mountain RC Bouncer Race Series and check out the dates there. But the race schedule, but it's gonna be a hell of a time. So,
Yeah, man. It's gonna be wild.
all right, Rob, we're gonna watch some footage, brother. I really appreciate all your
Right on,
time.
man.
We
I
will
appreciate you having me.
absolutely. We'll talk to you very soon.
All right, my man. Have a good night.
Yep. See. You.
Later.
So big shout out to Rob Wyman. I really appreciate him joining us today. So let's get into some footage here. Is that old dirty bouncer there? Man, I love that buggy. I think that's what it is. Hey, we're just gonna watch some of the footage from the season opener for the King of the Mountain race. We're looking at Hill 1 here. This is Easy Street. As you can see, lots of rocks, dirt. Curtis does an amazing job at. I don't know how he buries the rocks. I don't know what his process, man. I've built hills with him before, but he just does it so effortlessly. He's just got a vision and makes it happen. Easy Street is, I think they're, a good hill to get started on. Curtis, just like myself, likes to have his drivers, make the first hill, get warmed up a little bit, get started. I know that they have a practice hill that they use. So I think it's important to note, here's Rob here running a addictive chassis from Travis Vance. I think it's important to note that, the buggies that are racing this year in New England are second to none, man. These guys are showing up, showing out. They're not questioning the rules. It's really a bother to me. Here's Chuck and his custom chassis. Chuck raced with us last year. Well, he raced with us. Yeah, he raced in the initial King of the Mountain race. Here we go, Hill 2. These hills are no joke, y'all. The video does these hills no justice at all. I can't say I haven't seen them in person, but as Rob said, man, these hills are no joke. If you're looking down, man, you're looking down at these hills right now. You can tell they are steep. I see a lot of guys running boggers here. It's not a surprise, given the fact that most of these hills are loose dirt. I did hear from Curtis that the conditions for this race were absolutely perfect. They had some rain, and then the cold weather, everything was packed down real nice. But he says that it's not going to be the case as summer, we come into spring and summer, but the soil's going to get a lot looser. These guys are going to have a lot harder of a time, and I can definitely see guys running boggers for sure. Which most of these guys are, or they're like Rob running some cut tires. Here we go, hill three. We're not seeing all the runs, and the reason for that, the reason why this is so quick, is because Curtis is filming with his phone, and he doesn't have a whole lot of space on the phone, so he has to be selective with which runs he posts and which runs he keeps. So he just chose not to run or not to save the DNFs. So I'm digging this little buggy, little R1 with some AR60s, it looks like, on boggers. I mentioned that earlier. It's the RC community that is the main culprit, but you know, this is rock bouncing, right? And it really, I don't understand why some people want to. I gotta be careful how I say this. Rock bouncing is so cool because you can pretty much run what you brung. Okay, so we got guys in the national series in the 1-to-1 series, and I say the 1-to-1 series because that's what we're trying to replicate, right? So there's guys that show up with 1600 horsepower, and there's guys that show up with 116 horsepower. Okay, I mean that's the reality of it. But all the buggies look like rock bouncers. Okay, they do. The bottom line. So in the RC world, it's a little bit more difficult because we have guys that want to put their own spin on a rock bouncer. So they go out and they try to take something. What prompted me to talk about this was that R1 that we just saw. And don't get me wrong, that it looked like a rock bouncer. There's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely. However, there are people that are trying to make a rock bouncer off a platform that just shouldn't be. Okay, I mean, guys, it's rock bouncing if you just cannot compete with a car that looks like a rock bouncer or an Ultra 4 car as well. It doesn't have to be specifically a rock bouncer. We see a bomber going here. Bombers are, absolutely allowed. I love this hill, man. KV hill. Look at this. You better have the wheel speed and the dig tires to get up this son of a gun. This is Derek Carnes. He won the King of the Mountain race at the Mountain Mud Run last year. He is a command team driver. But anyway, you're going to see some footage here. There's a couple of buggies that are on here. For one, running a tube chassis that, yes, it's a tube chassis. I got it. But never do people take, let's say, a circle track chassis and make it a rock bouncer. Okay? It just doesn't work. People don't do that. So it's a pet peeve of mine, and this is just us shooting the breeze here. This isn't a rule. This is just my belief. Y'all know that I don't get down with the scale stuff. Y'all know that I'm a fabricator and I'm a believer in building a rock bouncer, building an RC rock bouncer just like a 1-to-1 bouncer driver would do it. Okay? Full tube chassis, no skids. This is my beliefs, okay? My beliefs. No skids. Just fabrication. Now, I understand that not everybody can build their own chassis, and there's nothing wrong with that. We have unbelievable chassis builders that are out there, guys that are popping up every single day that are doing it. So there is always a possibility for uh, you to find a chassis, either one that's used or one that one that's brand new. But for the guys that are looking at their, you know, pick one, pick an off the shelf, an off the shelf RC, the monster trucks. I mean, you're gonna see one on here today, and again, I got it. They're tube chassis, they're leading arm, just like a lot of the bouncers that we run. I got it. But the bottom line is it came off the shelf as a monster truck. Okay, and just because we can, I think it should be an unwritten rule that people work a little harder on making it a rock bouncer, and maybe that makes us elitist. Maybe I sound like an elitist right now. I don't know. But the bottom line is we've been doing this for a minute now. We've been doing it for a year or so. So, we want to make sure that we're doing the right thing here. We want to make sure that we're running cars, running buggies, whatever you want to call them, that look the part, y'all. You know, I mean, check out Rob Wyman here. I nickname him the Bobby Tanner rock bouncing man because the guy just straight sends it all the time till the wheels fall off, literally. So that's the kind of stuff that we love to see. Rob has built his own chassis. Now he's running an addictive chassis. A couple of guys up there running addictive chassis. This group has a great group of legit RC rock bouncers. Okay, so I want to make sure that we're giving credit where credit's due. We're still on KV Hill here. These guys are definitely having a problem, but I love seeing these guys get wound up. This is what I'm talking about right here, guys. And I know it's a tube chassis. I get it. It's the same size as the rock bouncers. But come on, man. It started out life as a monster truck. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry. I can't support that. I can't. So this is some knockout racing. Curtis just announced the point series. It's a big deal for those guys. He also announced, and I want to make sure that I give a big shout out to Cole Shirley and thank him for this. Mad Ram 11 is going to be filming and posting all of the races for the King of the Mountain RC Bouncer Race Series. So that is a big deal. They're going to have a point series now. So we're talking some serious growth from the New England series. I'm super proud of these guys for sure. Super proud of Curtis. We had a chat a few minutes ago. Get over to On the Hill with Nick and Friends, our YouTube channel. Some big announcements from Curtis up there. So definitely happy to see things growing up there, and I can't wait to get up myself and give these hills a shot. We're going to be up there in June, so Curtis, make sure you get those black fly. What do they call them? Those black fly candles or some shit. I don't know. What are they called? Black fly. Yeah. Anyway, those things that you light and it drives all the black flies away. New England is terrible for black flies, y'all. If you're watching this and you're talking about going to the mountain mud run, man, make sure you bring some bug spray for sure. Because it's a great time, man. It is a great time. But not with the black flies. Black flies just make it terrible. ODB, Old Dirty Bouncer. I'm pretty sure, man. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong about this, but I've been following the Old Dirty Bastard. No, not Old Dirty Bastard. That's the rapper. This is the Old Dirty Bouncer. I've been following this build since it started, so love seeing it in action, man. Love seeing it in action. Hey, I know I was griping a little bit about the chassis and stuff, but I don't want to take away from this race series, man. These guys are growing with leaps and bounds. If we compared footage from races from last year, you would see more Wraiths and Bombers and Yetis and stuff like that. So I'm very thankful to see real rock bouncers, real RC rock bouncers showing up now. And you can tell, again, these hills are. Cameras do not do these hills justice, man. And I think it's a testament to the bouncers that these guys are building. Um, you know, they are race machines now. They're absolute race machines. Derek, I'm gonna give you a pass on this one, but again, why are you running tires that came on a monster truck from the RC store on your Yeti? I love you, brother, but come on, man. I get it. Rock bouncing, you see some wacky stuff sometimes at rock bouncing events too, you know, but not for the most part. I don't know. I don't know. People watching this think I'm just griping for no reason, but again, I've been doing this for a minute. And when I started out, I had a vision. And the vision was that RC bouncers looked exactly like the one-to-one bouncers. And again, for the most part, in all of the race series, they do. They absolutely do. But if you're the guy that's, looking at your RC monster truck trying to figure out how you can make it a bouncer, and you're gonna enter it in the race just because just because the rules say tube chassis and stuff like that. Come on, man. Again, running the monster truck tires on a bomber. Come on, guys. Anyway, this has been great. I really want to do more of this. I won't be a Debbie Downer next time. I hope all y'all enjoyed this. I know that I did, very much so. And we will see you all on the hill very soon.